What if one day the person you trust the most suddenly becomes a complete stranger? What if the memories you believe are real are actually hiding a terrible truth? Jin Seok thought his life was finally becoming normal. A new house, a loving family, and a successful older brother who always protected him. But after one mysterious night, everything starts falling apart. His brother disappears without a trace, and when he finally returns 19 days later, Jin Seok notices something terrifying. The man standing in front of him looks exactly like his brother, but he doesn't feel like him. As Jin Seok tries to uncover what happened during those missing 19 days, he discovers that the truth behind his family's secrets is far darker than he ever imagined. This is the story of Forgotten. Jin Seok is a young man who suffers from anxiety and takes medication to control his condition. Because of his health problems, his family always tries to protect him and keep him away from stressful situations. One day, Jin Seok moves into a new house with his parents and his older brother, Yoo Seok. For Jin Seok, this new home feels like a fresh beginning. His older brother, Yoo Seok, is everything Jin Seok admired. He is confident, intelligent, and always looks after his younger brother. To Jin Seok, Yoo Seok is not just a brother. He is someone he can completely trust. But soon after moving into the house, Jin Seok begins feeling that something is not right. The house has a strange atmosphere. There is a locked room that nobody talks about. His parents seem uncomfortable whenever the topic comes up. And at night, Jin Seok starts hearing unusual sounds coming from inside the house. At first, he tries to ignore them. He believes his anxiety is making him imagine things. But then something happens that changes everything. One night, Jin Seok wakes up and notices something strange happening outside. Through the window, he sees a group of unknown men approaching his brother. Before he can understand what is happening, Yoo Seok is suddenly forced into a car, taken away. Jin Seok is completely shocked. He watches helplessly as his brother disappears into the darkness. The next morning, Jin Seok tells his family what happened, but instead of being surprised, everyone reacts strangely. They act as if nothing unusual happened. They tell him that Yoo Seok simply went out, but Jin Seok knows what he saw. He knows his brother was taken. Days pass, and Yoo Seok is still missing. The police investigate the case, but there are no clear answers. Jin Seok becomes more worried with every passing day. He keeps thinking about that night. Who were those people? Why did they take his brother? And why does everyone around him seem to be hiding something? After 19 days, something unexpected happened. Yoo Seok suddenly comes back home. At first, Jin Seok feels relieved. The brother he thought he lost has finally returned, but that happiness doesn't last long, because almost immediately, Jin Seok notices small changes. The Yoo Seok who returned is different. His personality feels colder. His behavior feels unusual. The brother who once cared for every little thing about Jin Seok now seems distant and mysterious. Jin Seok tries to convince himself that his brother has simply changed because of the trauma he experienced. After all, anyone would be affected after being missing for 19 days. But then he starts noticing even more strange things. Yoo Seok knows details that he shouldn't know. He acts suspiciously whenever Jin Seok asks questions, and every time Jin Seok tries to understand what happened, he feels like someone is trying to stop him from discovering the truth. Slowly, Jin Seok starts believing that the biggest mystery is not where his brother disappeared. The real mystery is who came back after those 19 days, because deep inside, Jin Seok feels that the person living in his house might not be the same brother he remembered. And as he begins searching for answers, he is about to uncover a secret that will completely destroy everything he believes about his family, his memories, and even himself. After Yoo Seok returns home, Jin Seok tries his best to believe that everything is finally back to normal. His family acts like the nightmare is over. His parents are happy that their son has returned, and everyone wants to move forward as if nothing happened. But Jin Seok cannot forget what he saw that night. He remembers those mysterious men forcing his brother into a car. He remembers the fear on Yoo Seok's face, and most importantly, he remembers that something about his brother feels different. As days pass, Jin Seok starts watching Yoo Seok more carefully. He notices that his brother's habits have changed. The way he talks, the way he reacts, even the way he looks at people. It feels like Yoo Seok is hiding something. One night, Jin Seok sees his brother secretly leaving the house. Curious and suspicious, he decides to follow him. He wants answers. He wants to know what happened during those missing 19 days. But what he discovers only creates more questions. Yoo Seok meets someone in secret secret, and his actions become even more mysterious. Jin Seok starts feeling that his entire family might be involved in something he doesn't understand. The strange event continues. Jin Seok begins experiencing disturbing moments that make him question his own mind. Because of his anxiety problems, he starts wondering, am I really seeing the truth, or is my mind playing tricks on me? This is what makes his situation even more terrifying. He cannot trust anyone around him, and now he is not even sure if he can trust himself. Meanwhile, Yoo Seok continues acting strangely. Whenever Jin Seok asks about his disappearance, his brother avoids giving clear answers. He changes the subject. He becomes irritated, and sometimes he reacts as if he is afraid that Jin Seok will discover something. Jin Seok realizes that there is a hidden story behind Yoo Seok's disappearance, a story that everyone is trying to keep secret. One day, Jin Seok finds a clue that completely changes his perspective. He discovers that the events surrounding his brother's disappearance are connected to something much bigger than he imagined. The more he investigates, the more he realizes that his family has been hiding important information from him. The new house, the locked room, his brother's strange behavior. Everything seems connected, but the biggest question remains. Why would his own family hide the truth from him? As Jin Seok searches for answers, he begins noticing something even more disturbing. His memories don't always match reality. There are moments from his past that feel unclear, small details that don't make sense, things he remembers differently from everyone else. At first, he thinks it's because of his condition. Maybe stress is affecting his mind. Maybe the trauma of losing his brother is confusing him. But deep down, Jin Seok feels something is wrong. Something is missing. A piece of his own past that cannot remember. Then one night, everything takes a darker turn. Jin Seok witnesses something that convinces him that Yoo Seok is hiding a dangerous secret. The person he once trusted completely now feels like a stranger. The brother who protected him might actually be connected to the mystery surrounding him. And for the first time, Jin Seok begins to wonder, was Yoo Seok really kidnapped, or was his disappearance part of a plan? Desperate to find the truth, Jin Seok decides that he cannot wait for answers anymore. He starts investigating on his own. Every clue leads him deeper into a hidden world of lies and secrets. But he doesn't know one thing yet. The biggest secret is not about his brother. It is about Jin Seok himself. And when the truth finally begins to appear, he will realize that the reality he has been living in for years was never what he thought it was. The more Jin Seok searches for the truth, the more he realizes that something is terribly wrong. Every answer creates another mystery. Every memory creates another question. The life he thought he understood is slowly beginning to fall apart. And the most frightening part is, the person hiding the truth might not be a stranger. It might be someone he loves. Jin Seok becomes obsessed with finding out what happened during the 19 days when Yoo Seok disappeared. He starts looking for clues around the house. He checks every corner, every locked door, every small detail that could reveal what his family is hiding. Then he discovers something unexpected. The house is connected to secrets that go far beyond his brother's disappearance. The things he finds make him question his own memories. Why can't he remember certain moments? Why does everyone around him know things that he doesn't? And why does his family keep treating him like he is fragile and unable to handle the truth? Meanwhile, Yoo Seok's behavior becomes more disturbing. He starts acting like someone who is under pressure, someone who is carrying a heavy secret. Jin Seok watches him carefully and realizes that his brother is not simply hiding information. He is hiding fear. It seems like Yoo Seok knows something terrible is about to happen, but what exactly is he afraid of? As Jin Seok continues investigating, he comes across a shocking connection. The truth behind Yoo Seok's disappearance is linked to an event from the past, an event that Jin Seok has completely forgotten. At first, he refuses to believe it. He tries to convince himself that there must be another explanation, but the evidence keeps appearing, and slowly, pieces of his forgotten memories begin returning. Jin Seok starts remembering strange moments from years ago, moments he had buried deep inside his mind, moments connected to a tragedy that changed everything. The more he remembers, the more terrified he becomes, because the truth is not what he expected. The people he trusted, the memories he believed, even the story he told himself about his own life, everything begins to collapse. At this point, Jin Seok realizes that his biggest enemy is not someone outside his family. The real enemy is the truth he has been running away from. He finally understands that his mind created a different version of reality to protect him from something too painful to accept. But now that reality is coming back, and there is no way to escape it anymore. Jin Seok confronts Yoo Seok and demands the truth. He wants to know what really happened. Why was he taken away? Why has everyone been lying? And what secret are they trying so desperately to hide? But Yoo Seok knows that revealing the truth will change Jin Seok's entire world forever, because sometimes the truth is more painful than the lie. As the mystery finally starts to unfold, Jin Seok discovers the shocking connection between himself and the events of the past. The reason he couldn't remember. The reason his family protected him. The reason Yoo Seok disappeared. Everything leads back to one devastating incident, an incident that Jin Seok's mind had erased. Now the biggest question is no longer, who is the person who came back after 19 days? The real question is, what happened to Jin Seok before all of this began? Because the truth reveals that the biggest mystery of the story was never his brother's disappearance. It was Jin Seok's own forgotten past, and when he finally remembers everything, he will have to face a reality that is far more terrifying than anything he imagined. For years, Jin Seok believed he was living a normal life. He believed he had a loving family. He believed his older brother Yoo Seok was the person who always protected him. But now, every memory is breaking apart, because the truth he is about to discover is something his own mind tried to hide from him. Jin Seok finally begins remembering what happened past years ago. He was not the innocent person he believed himself to be. A tragic incident changed the lives of many people, and Jin Seok was connected to that tragedy in a way he never remembered. The reason his memories were unclear was because his mind had created a barrier to protect him from the pain. He had forgotten the truth because accepting it was too difficult. The person Jin Seok thought was his brother was actually not his real brother. Yoo Seok was connected to the painful event from Jin Seok's past. He was someone who had been searching for answers and waiting for the truth to come out. Everything that happened after the move into the new house was part of a carefully planned attempt to make Jin Seok remember what he had forgotten. The strange behavior, the disappearance, the secrets, all of it was connected. Jin Seok finally understands that the reality he was living in was not complete. The family around him, the memories he trusted, the life he thought he had, everything was built around a hidden truth. The most painful part is realizing that he had spent years running away from something that actually happened. As the final pieces come together, Jin Seok is forced to face the reality of his past. He realizes that the people around him were not simply trying to hurt him. They were trying to make him remember. They wanted him to understand the consequences of what happened. But the truth comes with a heavy price, because remembering the past means losing the peaceful life he created inside his own mind. The ending of Forgotten shows the power of guilt and trauma. Sometimes people don't forget because they don't care. Sometimes they forget because the truth is too painful to accept. Jin Seok spent years living with a version of reality that protected him from his own memories, but eventually the truth always finds a way back. In the final moments, Jin Seok is left with the consequences of everything that happened. He has finally remembered the truth, but knowing the truth does not erase the pain. It only changes the way he sees his entire life. The person he trusted, the memories he protected, and the world he believed was real. Everything was different. Forgotten is not just a mystery thriller. It is a story about memory, guilt, and how the human mind can create its own reality to survive unbearable pain. The movie keeps asking one question: can we handle the truth when the truth destroys everything we believe? And in Jin Seok's case, the answer is far more terrifying than he ever imagined.